What is happening, everybody? It's me. It's Michael B. Thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight for a special Thursday episode of Chill and Chat with Michael B. The reason I'm here tonight is, well, this is what I was going to do Monday night, but I had an opportunity to have Bob Rose on from Token Taverns. I really wanted to help Bob out, promote his movie. I think it's really good. So I took that opportunity, but I didn't get an opportunity to do this. And this is what I want to do is address any questions the community has, because apparently I showed up on an Arcade1Up show last week, and some people have a big problem with it. So I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to ask me questions. I'll give the answers that I can give. Like, I can't tell you what cabs are coming out, but I can certainly answer specific questions about me and what's going on with me and anything you want to know and what you can expect to see from me going forward. Anyways, hopefully we deal with this situation in a positive manner. I see a comment from Paul Minderman that I can't wait to get to. I love Paul, by the way. Paul had some critical feedback for me on my video from last week, so I'm excited to see him here and see if I can answer some of his concerns as well. Anyways, guys, sit back, relax. Let's try to have some fun and ask me anything. We'll talk to you tonight on Chill and Chat with Michael B. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the chat. So the way I look at this is going to be an episode kind of like a 19K Fox episode where I just read comments off the screen. That's going to be the whole chat. I got some stuff I want to talk about too. Hopefully we get to it. And if we don't get to it, I'll bring it up. So anyways, best place to get started is to get started and bring up the chat. And let's start answering some questions for you guys. We'll see where this goes. All right, Matt Asher Gaming asked me, do I want to be killed by one giant hot dog or 100 regular hot-sized hot dogs at the same time? There we go. Charlie Chuck with the first comment I'm going to bring up. Charlie is my good friend, Shillcast. Here we go. Cornercade, I would love to have you on again sometime. Tonight, I'm going to be selfish. Tonight's about me, so no collaboration tonight, brother. Console Kits has a couple of questions. I don't know what he's got going on there. And this is a good question, though. If I give you Arcade1Up Super Chat money, would you do pinball live streams? See what I did there? I would do more pinball live streams. I really like live streaming pinball. But Cleveland Gaming Classic had 5 guys tonight and thought about you, Mike. You didn't tell me Wahlburgers was there. I want to try Wahlburgers when I'm there. Chaotic BPR wrote me on Discord today and said we should get Wahlburgers while you're in Cleveland. So I'm going to give that a try. All right, so Console Kid says, if I give you Arcade1Up Super Chat money, would you do pinball live streams? The thing about pinball live streams is it's really hard to do it right. You need like a pinball rig, like camera setup and rig. It's really expensive, really hard to put together. When I do it, it is on a shoestring budget. And like, honestly, it's all smoke and mirrors if it even looks good. If I have more room, I've been waiting to do like a live play of my new pinball pickup, my Dungeons and Dragons. So maybe that's something I can do relatively soon. Here's a more interesting comment that we can get to. If next year is the year of XL cabinets, how many XLs do you think they will release? And this is a really good place to start with what I can and what I can't answer and why I can't answer it. So when I did my stream with Travis and Travis MCP there a little while ago, Travis gave me some insight into what the upcoming release schedule is for Arcade1Up. And because of that, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do, speculation videos. I can't do those because I know too much. I have a good insight, so it's not appropriate. Yeah, Paul, that's a good point. We'll get to that. So anyways, Travis gave me that information, so I can't do speculation videos. But the other side of that is I can't just tell you what he told me. He told me that in confidence, with the, understanding that that's not something I would share. And I mean, it would do a lot to damage my credibility and my relationship with him if I just blurted out everything he said to me. So I can't really give insight into that. I can't speculate. I hope that understands. Mike Hockert says Travis made Michael be a made guy. That's the truth. We'll get into that as well. Yeah, I know Game Room Guru. I can't. I was lucky enough last year. I avoided like pretty much everything last year, and I could still do them. But this year, I mean, without prompting, Travis just threw shit at me. So I kind of hit. All right, so here's another fun comment I want to answer. With MK Deluxe now coming to Canada, could we finally see the logjam starting to clear in terms of getting cabs? Still bummed we can't get Pac Man XL or Fast and the Furious. So that's a really good comment. That was a huge surprise today because where I get most of my information about what Arcade1Up cabs are coming to Canada is actually through the Arcade1Up Canadian Facebook page. One of the people involved with the Arcade1Up distribution here in Canada for the brick is constantly posting on that. Her name's Arlene. She'll always throw up insight into what cabs are coming and what we can expect to get people excited about it. So she very clearly put in the comments, MK Deluxe is not coming. You're not getting it this year. It's not happening 100%. So I took that as what it was. But like we've talked to Arlene since, and she said she's working on it. She's working on it. And now it looks like things have turned around. So we are getting MK Deluxe. Now, I'm not huge in the 3/4 scale cabs anymore. I want everything to be XL. But that's one of the ones I really, really, really miss Mortal Kombat. I didn't like the Mortal Kombat 30th because of the screen. So I'm very excited to get an MK Deluxe. This is one I'm going to look at. Yeah, that's a good comment. Would you rather fight 10 100-year-olds or 110-year-olds? I don't know. I can't answer that. Can't answer that. Dan Z, not a question, but I just wanted to say hello, brother. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing better. Here we go. I saw some people crapping on the Pac Man XL. I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for, and the price is pretty good. Yeah, that's a really good comment there. So I mean, it's $5.99, so it's good comparative to what they released their previous XL cabs at. Let's call a spade a spade. So $5.99, good comparatively, and also it's console fanboy. I'll get to you as well. I just got to get through all the questions. So obviously it's good for what price it is comparatively. And it looks like a really good cab. I really like the XL cabs. I'm very excited, but unfortunately it's a Costco US exclusive. That's what I was told from the brick. And yeah, we'll get into that a little bit because it looks like one of the distributors, one of the Costco's actually put it out yesterday. So it's all been up over the Facebook page. So we'll talk a little bit about that more going on. Oh, this is one I want to talk about as well. So great comment here by Stupid Fat Hobbit. How long before someone mods that claw machine by adding Inspector Gadget's side art and a bionic hand? So do you guys want to talk about the claw machine? So a couple people threw jabs at me and said, well, Mike B is not going to talk about the claw machine because of his NDA and contract with Arcade1Up. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea what the claw machine is. Travis gave me a list, and I will tell you, it wasn't on that list. So I have nothing official about a claw machine coming out, but obviously it looks like there's a claw machine coming out. So what I did here is I scanned up that 1UP show, and I'm going to see if I can get to the part showing Cyrus, a good look at Cyrus with that in the background. Yeah, so this is probably a good one. I don't know how well you can see it. So I'm just going to bring that up on screen here now for you guys. Entire screen. Nope, that's the one I want. Share. So here you go. Right now, Time Cyrus. I told him to do that, by the way. So you can see in the background, there's some kind of box here, and like a couple people on YouTube, OTG and Console Fanboy were on top of it. A couple other people basically identified what this was. This is some kind of claw machine. So it looks like Arcade1Up is coming out with some kind of 3/4 scale claw machine, maybe. Here's the thing, guys. I don't know anything about it. I can't tell you anything more than that. So it looks like Arcade1Up is coming out with some kind of claw machine, which does fit in with what it looks like they're doing with the casino cades. They're looking for other items that they can make that might be a fit, go in collaboration with people's game rooms. I don't know how much it'll be. I don't know anything else about it. It looks like they're going to do a claw machine. Hopefully it's good. All right. Questions, guys. Looking for questions. Jason mentioned, okay, really quickly, console fanboy. I got to catch up to the other comments on the screen, but I'll answer this. Why did Cyrus say it was a poster behind him? I don't know, man. He was probably thinking quick on his feet and just said, "Oh no, it's a poster," to get out of it. It's not on the list Travis gave me, but it looks like it might be they're doing a claw machine. There you go. I don't know why. Maybe. All right. Yes, in studios. I think this is a funny question, but I'll bring it up anyways. Would you buy a Pac Man claw pinball machine? No. All right, let's do this. Questions, guys. Questions. Sorry, I'm just looking for questions now. Paul Minderman with a good question. This poll is like a double negative. Yes, they shouldn't. I said yes, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. I'm not even sure what my vote is saying. Okay, so let me see if I can bring up. What did I say? Do you think YouTubers shouldn't engage with the companies? So, okay, I should have said, do you think YouTubers should engage with the companies? So, shouldn't engage with the companies. Yes is at 33% right now. So, the majority of people are saying, no, no, absolutely don't work with the companies. 24% are saying, no, it's fine. Some companies are okay, is at 11%, and under specific terms, 31%. There you go. Did I miss it, Vasil? I'll go back up and take a look to see if I can find it, because I don't know how far I'm down. I'm not caught up to the chat. I'm still right at the beginning, brother. Yeah, I don't think I'm at your comment here now. But let me just go down. Okay, here we go. Will Time Crisis be at Best Buy? I really want the cab, but I am not comfortable buying from Shop Hippo. Why is my phone going off? High heart rate. So, Best Buy will eventually get Time Crisis. I'm pretty sure of that, but I don't know when. Right now, what I can tell you, and you're not going to like this, and people are going to say, I'm being a shill and doing scarcity marketing. But honestly, Arcade1Up's first shipment of Time Crisis that came out is actually not that big. So we just got Time Crisis available for pre-order here in Canada last night. So I'm going to bring it up now, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. I can tell you about this. So Arcade1Up did say Time Crisis is limited in their reveal, and I was very clear with them. I said, you got to, stop the scarcity marketing. And they were very clear about it. They were like, we're not trying to do scarcity marketing. What we're trying to do is, when we do small shipments, we're trying to make the public aware of that. So, I mean, take it for what it is. But I will tell you the other side of it. So I'm just going to bring up the brick here now and show you guys. So here it is, Time Crisis, $8.99 Canadian. Take that in. Oh, $8.99 Canadian. So that's really, really super expensive. It was what I was told. Again, going back to the Canadian fan page, when Big Buck Hunter was released, Arlene commented on the price point and said, add another $100 for Time Crisis. So right now, Time Crisis, $899.95. The brick only got 70 units in, according to Arlene in the Arcade1Up Canadian Facebook page. And there's only 200 units total for Canada. I don't know if that's representative of the total shipment. This is an international release. I don't know how many the US got. I don't know how many the Aussies got. I have no idea. I just know we have 200 for all of Canada. 70 go to the brick, and then 130 are distributed across the rest of the distributors. So there you go. I know, Canada Phil, we're actually getting a discount on this. 661 US. So it's actually 88 less than US retail. So we get a little bit better, but the price still sucks. It's a lot. So right now, they're waiting for them to come to Best Buy. I don't expect anytime soon. It depends on how quickly they go through this first order of... Thanks, Vasil. I appreciate it, man. I don't know about that. I think 19K Fox is more appreciated. more appreciated. I think 19K Fox is the best. So, anyways, 130 to the other distributors. 70 to the brick, only 200 coming to Canada. I don't know how many are coming to the US. It's not FOMO marketing. It's just, that's what it is. So what I was told was basically Shop Hippo right now has the exclusive. They have all the orders. So it depends on how sales go. If sales are good, they might do another run, and then the other distributors will get them. Paul, that's a good question. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to catch up here now, guys. Here we go. So just reading questions. Just reading questions. Sorry, guys, about that. Jaws Pinball confirmed. I wish. All right, here we go. I have a problem. You're so handsome, Mike. Oh, Tom, I can't wait to meet you in person, brother. Hi, Sterling Hall. Here's a question that's not super related. What's your favorite multiplayer game? Do you mean multiplayer arcade game or multiplayer game in general? Multiplayer game. I really enjoyed playing like X-Men online, and I like playing the fighting games online when it comes to like home arcades and stuff like that. I'm super excited to see what At Games does with Killer Instinct online. I think Arcade1Up's online for Killer Instinct is pretty good, especially after they added spectate mode. Interested to see what At Games can do with it as well. Ben and Jerry's. Oh, it's not the Tonight Dough. It's the one that's all chocolate. It's like all cookie dough one. I can't remember the name. What is the meaning of life? I can't answer that. Here we go. Console fanboy with a question. In your honest opinion, do you think Cyrus was telling the truth about the poster behind him? No, I don't think Cyrus was telling you the truth about the poster behind him. But I think that was just quick thinking on his feet, and he didn't really want to say what was going. All right, guys, just catching up here. Car is in town A. P-dubs, we'll get to you. Hold on here now. Marvel 360 says, I'm a viewer of content. I don't think my opinions on what a contenter or creator should and shouldn't do should matter. It's the business of creators themselves. I can just not watch if I don't like. 100%, guys. If you are bothered by me working with a company, and I openly work with a bunch of companies right now, a bunch, not just Arcade1Up. And I don't even work with Arcade1Up. I help them out on one live stream. I'm going to do a second. There's no contract, no specific terms of agreement in place, nothing. I just did that. And if you think that that modifies my opinions, modifies how I answer things and do things, yeah, I'll understand if you don't want to watch. Or you could talk to me about it. And, you know, if I'm being too positive in your mind, tell me about it. I'm always open to constructive criticism. Fried egg on a cheeseburger. Oh, hell yeah. Love fried egg on a cheeseburger. All right. Trying to get questions here. Will Best Buy have time crisis? Answered that one. This is my buddy, Dongold. He has a show called Dude, You Haven't Played This Game. Great dude. Why the heck would anyone want to watch a YouTuber do ads in games? Ads in games? That's a weird one. I don't know about that either. I love you, Paul Minderman. It's your channel, Blank B. You should do whatever you want. Doesn't mean relationships don't affect perspectives. We're human, 100%. So, like, if you don't like a company and I like something, like, it's easy for you guys to think that, oh, he's just a fanboy. Like, that's the comments people say. And then, of course, because I'm a YouTuber or influencer, which is not my word, it's the company's words and community's words for people that I guess are influential because, I don't know, they have some success. It's easy to think that, and yeah, you're entitled to your opinions. All we can do is keep being us and for you guys to figure out where it is, right? Console fanboy, is this another question about Cyrus? No, I don't think it was a poster. Oh, I made a video on this, Jeff Walsh. What mods have you decided on Godzilla? So far, I've only done the art blades and I've done the shaker motor. So yeah, that's it. So the art blades, you know, I watched a lot of videos and I ended up taking B-Kong's advice on this. So I ended up taking the whole table out to put the art blades in, which was the right call because it was going like a nightmare before. And then with the shaker motor itself, I actually reached out to the Rexer show because he actually already had Jurassic Park, and he put a shaker motor in it, and I had no idea what I was doing. So he gave me a little bit of advice, sent me a video, and away we go. I screwed up on it originally, and I figured out the reason I screwed up on it is I had my wire coming out of the top of the thing, and I had to move it to the side. Travis made Michael B a made guy. Yeah, that's how I ended up doing this stuff with Arcade1Up. And I'll talk about it really quickly. So, as you guys know, Travis was asking me for months. He was like, I think you're the right guy to step in, do the Arcade1 Update show. He promoted me to Arcade1Up, like said, this is the guy you should go with. So, about 2 weeks before that Time Crisis reveal came out, we actually did a call with Arcade1Up, and me and B had a conversation with them, and they want to get more involved in the community. They want to, look at this from a fresh approach. They want to do new things. They want to hear feedback from the community, feedback from us on how we can do things different. So yeah, that's what we did. We said, this sounds good. Let's give it a try. So me and B agreed to do this. We'll see where it goes. We're not under any contract. We don't have any agreement. We're not getting compensated. So we'll do it. And if we like it, we think that it's beneficial to us. Like we're getting better product and, better communication with Arcade1Up. We'll keep doing it. If not, we won't do it anymore. It's that simple. Okay, here we go. Good question here. We'll only buy, well, it's not a question. We'll only buy Pac Man XL if it's 19-inch BOE like Killer Instinct. I was told that it's only going to be BOE going forward, no more TN monitors. But if anybody actually has picked it up or got to go take a look at the Pac Man that's in that Costco, I would appreciate, guys, if you gave me a heads up on it. Big B73 says you're already holding back info. What's the point? Thumbs down. Come on, man. I can't tell you what somebody told me in confidence. Like, you want people to have integrity. I show integrity, and then you're like, nope, no integrity there. Yeah, and this was a comment, honestly, I made to Arcade1Up as well. I think they should have made that Time Crisis an XL cab. I mean, if they were in a situation where they had to, put the price up to the level that the price is to, and they wanted to get the product out there, I don't know how much the production difference is between an XL and a deluxe, but I think if the price was going to be that high, but they could have done it as an XL cab with a 19-inch screen, I think people would have been much more receptive to the price point that they suggested and whatever the retailer chose in the end. I keep getting, will Best Buy have Time Crisis? And I'm like, yes, but not right away. Okay. Question. There you go. Did you pre-order Super Mario RPG? Are remakes taking away from the original? I enjoyed the Secret of Mana remake. I don't think remakes are taking away from the original. I think remakes are just another option. I don't like remakes when they go in a completely different direction. I just want to see the same game. I want to play the same experience, maybe a little updated. So I like exact remakes. I don't like remasters. Steven says retailers didn't choose it. Arcade1Up did. They didn't negotiate the price. I don't know the difference there. All I know is Arcade1Up set an MSRP. The retailers then, decide what they're going to charge for the price, and they can negotiate between. So Steven might be right. Maybe Arcade1Up didn't push back hard enough. I don't know what the answer is there. So, I mean, he's got a good point there. Maybe that's what they should have done. Okay, here we go. Here's another question. Have you heard anything about your old Tron machine is doing? Do you think you'll be getting it back? I haven't heard from the guy that sold it to me, not in a long while, so I don't know if he was able to get it back up and working or not. Maybe I'll check in at some point. Michael B, do you think House of the Dead 1-2 cabinet in the works? Is Arcade1Up still doing licensing with Sega? I don't know. It definitely wasn't on the list that was given to me, so I don't think we're getting it anytime soon, guys. But it's possible. Yeah. Yeah, Paul says maybe the MSRP is 749. Might be. I don't know. Do you think okay, so I think House of the Dead is a possibility in the future, especially with the rock chip coming out, because it means they can handle more heavy emulation. Let's see how it goes. If more than 5 XLs are coming out next month, change your ask you anything. What did Travis show you on the phone? The list of the rest of the games coming out this year and a potential list of the games coming out next year. Do you ever think, what's the point? Why do I waste time I could spend with family or playing pinball just to make content that a handful of people need to rip apart or give you crap? Oh, MG, you are singing my tune right now. Sometimes this is very unthankful. Good question. That I don't know. Like again, this was not on the list that Travis gave me. It looks like they're doing it. I have no idea. Hopefully, it's not too small. Like my kid has got like a little claw machine downstairs, like a really cheap little battery operated claw machine. I mean, everything from Arcade1Up seems to cost like between $4.99 and $6.99. So if they're going to charge that much, hopefully, it's a little bit more substantial. David Deming says the fact that you have a contract with Arcade1Up makes you instantly someone not to trust. David, I don't know if you were listening. I don't have a contract at all. I have no contract with Arcade1Up. But if I did, and I do get a contract in the future, I'll be very open with you and tell you, and then you can say the same thing again. Just day 21. Yes, in the future, possibly Best Buy will carry Time Crisis. All right. Here we go. Here's another question. I want to know about the ALP CPU upgrade. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know about the upgrade. Canada Phil, did you get any of those upgrade boards? Maybe you can chime in the comments and help these people out, because I don't know much about the ALP CPU upgrade. I'm not that technical. You guys should know this by now from my modding capabilities. So it's not something I really followed. I've been hoping to just get my hands on the new models. And even if you did do the upgrade, like I think like 4K board, 4K screens and stuff are pretty hard to source for it. So I don't know. That is one that I think more qualified people should answer, but I appreciate the question, Smokeade. Yeah, poll question answer confusing. Yeah, you make a good point there. I didn't even think about that. It should have just been, should YouTubers work with work with companies? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. My Canadian question. Are new cab announcements now basically done for the rest of the year? I think Arcade1Up teased a surprise for this Friday. So I think I'm going to be on that show. So tune in tomorrow to find out. Here's a good question, if it ever comes up. Does Arcade1Up still have licensing with Sega? And if so, will we get a House of the Dead 1-2 cabinet? Is the Arcade1Up tech there to make the cabinet yet? I don't know if I answered you earlier and then this came back down around. But so should I not be a negative person when having positive polls? So does Arcade1Up still have licensing with Sega? I don't know the answer to that. I think so. And yeah, so the rock chip changes everything right now, because we are seeing that with At Games doing the new ALP 4K and ALU 4K. That implies the rock chip technology. So if Arcade1Up gets into it, hopefully they get more powerful hardware and they can do some more impressive games. So we'll see. All right, guys, just looking through a lot of really nice comments. Dan Z's asking the real hard hitting questions here. Have you had any Johnny and Mays this week? No, I haven't had any Johnny and Mays for like the last 3 weeks, maybe four. I'm actually saving up. I'm not dieting, but I'm partially dieting so I can enjoy myself in Cleveland. I'm going to check out some really cool eating spots there. So there we go. Yeah, Mike Hockhurts is asking this again. Has anyone confirmed if Pac Man XL has a BOE monitor? There were rumors it might use the opportunity to unload the remaining supply of 19-inch monitors. I would be so bummed out if that was the case because that monitor is terrible. I will tell you the only reason these two cabs are sitting up here behind me, Golden Tee and NBA Jam, I love the XL form factor. I think that's what Arcade1Up should have always been. But man, those screens are terrible. Arby's is not really a cool eating spot. Like, we're going to Arby's with Carl. How do we not go to Arby's with Carl? If you got an opportunity to go to Arby's with somebody, you go with Carl. Stupid Fat Hobbit says, how many cabinets are coming out in 2024? Is more like 1 million or 1 to 500,000? Asking for a friend. Uh, I will say, I will say, I think there's going to be a lot more than there was this year, and especially cabinets that are going to be exciting to people. Like, if you guys have been waiting for new releases next year, if everything comes to fruition, should be a pretty exciting year. How difficult was it to set up Pinball FX on At Games Legends Pinball? I really want to do it, but I have to get a laptop, set up a Steam account. Is it worth it? It depends on what you have. I have actually had a nightmare trying to get my pinball, the new Pinball FX set up. Pinball FX3 up and running perfectly. The new Pinball FX, I have a different machine than Wagner's, so I followed Wagner's Tech Talk instructions, and I got completely screwed up. And I actually even, got an opportunity to FaceTime with Wagner over Skype, and we were trying to figure it out. We just can't figure it out. So I actually don't have Pinball FX set up on my Legends Pinball yet. I'm still working on it. It's hard. Not if you have the regular At Games Legends Pinball. If you got the buy stuff back box and you're adding 3 screens, it's a little tougher. But if you just got the regular 2-screen setup, I think you should be good to go. How about they make more? Crazy idea, I know. Are you talking about the Time Crisis? Maybe. Maybe they will make more. It depends on how well they sell. That's where it's going to be. Here we go. I'm not even reading these. As long as it's a question, I'll answer it. There we go. I think, Rob P., you asked this before, so I'm going to pop that off. I think the claw machine is going to be mechanical. I mean, you can't. Who's going to buy a virtual claw machine? Like, really? Basil, did I still miss your question? That's very nice of you to say. I got to go up and see if I missed Basil's question, guys, because I did not see it come across, and maybe I missed it. He says Shop Hippo's fine. He's bought stuff from them before, and then it's as far as it'll let me get up. Basil, put it in again. I'm going to watch for it, and if you can see it, tell me. All right, just going down here. Paul Minderman, it's going to be a nice mix of both. One thing I can tell you I didn't see any pro cabinets. I think the thing with the pro cabinet is it was a good idea from there's Rocky, there is massive lag. I'm way back to the beginning with the questions, trying to catch up to him, Rocky. I'll get to you in a minute, I promise. I'm very sorry. So I don't think there's going to be any pro, but there was some XL and there was some deluxe. I don't think you'll see any regular old school cabs going forward. You'll see peasant versions at Walmart. Just Dave 21 says, is there any talks of House of the Dead Arcade1Up? Not right now. Paul Minderman says, one that comes up, I'll be honest, if Shop Hippo is exclusive and no Best Buy, I'm out. Nobody's collecting Shop Hippo gift cards. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Like, this is simple. Like, if you don't like the retailer, don't buy from them. If you don't like the price, don't buy from them. There's nothing wrong with, if you disagree with a company and like their price point, just don't buy the product. That's the best message you can send them. If you think something's too expensive, their product is too expensive, don't buy it. Deluxe. It'll be a deluxe 19K Fox. Someone else mentioned this early. Did you see Zen announce Chucky and Dead by Daylight pinball tables? So I've been waiting to hear. What would be coming out. I was hoping it was going to be very horror centric. So I've got to go look at it after this. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, Basil says, no worries. Do you feel that doing collabs with Arcade1Up will change your coverage of them? Do you feel obligated to them? Do you feel obligated to your viewers? That's a really good question, Basil. So here's the thing about that. I don't feel obligated to Arcade1Up. Again, I'll go back to Act Games. If you guys have been watching me for the last couple of years, I'm very critical of Act Games at time, and they have been excellent with me. They listen to my critiques, what I have to say. They've been great to me. They send out review products, even when I'm not all that positive. They take that into consideration, and that's the relationship I like to have. If Arcade1Up doesn't want that relationship, then they'll either let me go or I won't work with them. I mean, this is all really easy to me. Like I'm gonna do and say what I want and what I like. I don't put in my reviews that, oh, this is bad because other people say it's bad. I only put in my reviews if I think it's bad, if I think there's a problem. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it will change my content so much. It will, in the fact that, again, getting that list and getting that lineup and having inside information does prevent me from doing speculation videos. I'm not going to do a speculation video if I know what's coming out. So yes, in that capacity. In terms of like reviews and stuff like that, my opinions, I don't think it'll change, but that's up to you guys. Realistically, you're the ones who can tell me whether or not I'm doing a good job, bad job, being a shill, being too kind to a company or not enough. And all I'll ask you to do is just look at my coverage of the Act Game stuff. Choose your decision, make your decision there, because I've had an NDA with them for 3 years, worked with them very closely, and yeah, they've been very respectful of my opinions. So, all right, just trying to catch up now. P-Dubs is asking a question that I don't know. You're going to have to decide for yourself. A car is in town A and is scheduled to be in town B. If it travels at an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour, it will arrive in town B 30 minutes later at 70 kilometers per hour. How long will it take to arrive at town B? It depends. Is the person traveling to have a hookup behind the target? Oh. I don't know the answer to this question. How many time crises are in those lost warehouses? The ones that suddenly find Marvel Superheroes, MVC2, and Burger Time limited quantity cabs. I don't think those are lost warehouses. I think those are buybacks, or at least the company sends them back. I don't think it's just warehouse stuff. Thank you very much, Jeff. That's very nice of you to say. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, man. Like, I'm not going to hold anybody accountable to their opinion. Just don't like when people refuse to have conversations with you if you have problems. Anybody that's known me for a while, like Stephen Haywood, I don't know if he's still here, but you can ask Stephen. Anytime we've ever had like some kind of dust up or some kind of misunderstanding, I will jump on a call with him and be like, yeah, let's talk it out. And I don't like people that refuse to do that. It bothers me. I don't care if you disagree with me, have a bad opinion of me or something, but man, let's talk about it. Paul Ninderman. We all love Super Game Room dudes, especially when nostalgia forgets to show up. Just check your bias at the door. Tubers in Cleveland. Here we go. When can we expect Star Wars XL, or was it on the list of Travis sent you? I can't tell you that, MG. I would like a Star Wars XL. Question, is it fair to say that if 1UP goes full on XL, the first year or more will be nothing more than re-releases? It makes sense for them to do releases in the XL, doesn't it? So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, Phil. That's not the list I saw. Two questions, Michael. Are you buying Time Crisis? No, I'm not buying Time Crisis. Very simply put, it's not a game that I'm super nostalgic for. Like my Time Crisis history, it revolves around the PlayStation 2, getting the PlayStation 2, Time Crisis 2, and Time Crisis 3 with the gun cons and playing it that way. I don't have a huge amount of nostalgia for it, and it's really expensive. So no, I'm not buying Time Crisis. I'm not going to judge anybody that does buy it and are happy with it. That's fine. Just me personally, I'm not going to pick it up. It's not for me. I don't have to buy everything. Ooh, that's that El Capitan. That's so hard to say because it always changes. But um, and this is a very basic list. But going back forward, probably ever since I was a kid, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, Friday the 13th Part 2. Oh, get ready for this Halloween 4. You guys gonna hate me for that one. I also really like Witchboard and the original Puppet Master. They are probably my top five. Star Wars, still Star Wars to this day. I don't think they've made a better cab. Tron and Dragon's Lair have come close, but it's Star Wars. Qbert in 2024, unique controls, no way to play that game without the real cab. Yeah, I really hope they make Qbert soon. I mean, I've said it over and over again. I don't understand why Arcade1Up have never made it. If you're a home arcade company or an arcade company and you don't think Qbert can sell, shut the doors. I mean, it's Qbert. It's one of the most popular arcade games of all time. So no one's asked this question. Rocky brings it up. I just saw the comment go by on the screen. Arcade1Up lost Microsoft. More are going to be coming. Yeah, we don't know that. What we do know is that Arcade1Up had Killer Instinct and Microsoft. At Games have a Killer Instinct and Microsoft coming out now. They've signed a license. I don't know if it's exclusive. And usually, the way Arcade1Up works, if someone's willing to work with another company, this is how it's done in the past. They don't usually produce their cabs. So, yeah, maybe Killer Instinct is done with Arcade1Up. Maybe Microsoft is done. We don't know. All we do know is At Games certainly do have an agreement with them now. I don't know if it's an exclusive, and that's not an NDA thing. That's just the truth. I don't know if it's exclusive. How much do you think Arcade1Up would have to charge if they made a baby Pac Man pinball hybrid cab? Well, the pinball would have to be virtual, and so then the other side of that is pinball would have to be virtual, and then it depends on the agreement that Arcade1Up has for virtual pinball. Because if I'm not mistaken, the only virtual pinball that Arcade1Up have is they have an exclusive license with Zen. So I don't know how long that license lasts. So Zen would have to be involved, I think. Okay, here we go. Rocky 999 super chat. This is where we go. I know you haven't addressed this, but without confirming or denying John D's affiliation with One Up, if he's not there, what do you think the impact will be for One Up in the community? That's a really good question, and it's a really fair question. Thank you very much for the super chat, Rocky. And a lot of people have asked me that. They're like, come on, how come none of the content creators are saying that John D's fired? How come none of the content creators are bringing this up? So here's the thing. I don't know the exact I don't know the exact happenings, what went on. I do know, whether or not John D is still there. I was told in confidence by the man himself. So obviously, I'm not going to relay that. I'm not going to come out and just tell everybody. Again, it's an integrity thing. Someone tells you something in confidence. What are you going to do? Are you just going to go and blurt it out to everybody because you want to get views and stuff like that? Like someone told me something in confidence. What do you want me to do, guys? But I think there is going to be a big impact because as much as a lot of people dislike John for some of his other actions within the company, there's one thing we can all agree with. John was really good at licensing, really good at developing relationships with these companies. Maybe a little too good because some of the exclusives actually did hurt the other companies. And I don't like that necessarily because I thought that all three products that were in this space, the big ones like iArcade, At Games, and Arcade1Up, all offered different products for different groups of fans. I didn't really feel they were competing. So I didn't think that the licenses should be exclusive. So I didn't like that. I'll just be honest about that. But I do think going forward, those relationships are going to be harder to maintain now because they don't have somebody that has a long history and experience. But they do have Cyrus, and Cyrus is a really super nice guy. Hopefully, he can keep those relationships up and make Arcade1Up successful. But I think also, I don't think Arcade1Up really needs to worry about having exclusives going forward. I think it's fine to share the wealth. I mean, there's a bunch of games they'll probably never make. So, yeah. Oh, that's a good question. What arcade from the 80s besides Robotron are you most fond of? You're not going to like the answer, but Pac Man, man. I love Pac Man. Love, love, love Pac Man. I can't tell you how excited I am about the XL Pac Man. Of course, the only shitty thing is it doesn't look like it's coming to Canada. It looks like it's Costco US exclusive, but I would be all over that. I love Pac Man. I'm the shits. I'm not good at Pac Man. My top score is I think like 39,000. That's the highest I've ever got, but yeah, I love Pac-Man. I can play it all the time. That's why I bought a stupid Pac-Man party cade after I sold my last cabinet, and I'll keep that party cab till I can get my hands on the XL. Wow. Wow. Most important question. Do you call the Need store by the tunnel in the Pearl Grants? I don't. I actually moved out of the Pearl when I was 11 years old. I moved to Paradise, and I only moved back to the Pearl when I was 36. I moved back here, so I missed a lot of that stuff. Woo, Paul Minderman with the answers. There we go. Facebook users have confirmed it's a BOE in Pac Man XL. Glory, glory, glory. Okay, guys, we're going down, trying to catch up. I'm skipping a lot of stuff to try to catch up. I'm sorry, guys. I am sorry. I am trying my best to catch all the questions. Jeff Wiltison, if you have it and you're still here, if you could throw it back up, I'll look for it here on the screen, see if I can answer that way. There you go. Oh my God, is it ever? Is Godzilla a very replayable pin? Are you still enjoying it? I play it pretty much every single day, and it is so frustrating because for a while I changed the way I was playing, and I started playing a little bit different where I was instead of just trying to get the multi-ball and then go into the fight and just see what happens. I was trying to go right into the fight, and I changed my strategy, and my score started to suck. So I've been playing a ton. I'm just not getting any better. It is super replayable. I can't say go buy it. I mean, it's 84.99 right now for the premium, and I do advise the premium over the pro. But if you're lucky enough, you got an arcade near you where you can go play it, go get it. All right, guys, trying to catch up. Was Qbert on the list? No. oh, actually, so Charlie Chuck that was here earlier and called it a shillcast. He made a really interesting comment in our Arcade1Up Canadian. Who will the Jets be playing in the Super Bowl? Get out of here with that nonsense, Mike Hawkhurts. Uh, Charlie Chuck said, apparently there's talk now that there is going to be a new Stranger Things, but it's going to be a new Stranger Things updated to focus on later seasons instead of a remake of the original table going out. And that kind of bummed me out, man. It made me happy because now I don't need to find $15,000 by November. but it kind of bummed me out at the same time. So John Jay's asked, "Hey Mike, do you think that Arcade1Up and Raw Thrills will bring a Halo cabinet out next year?" No, wasn't on the list, and not that I saw. And I don't know if that's a really good title for Arcade1Up to release. I don't know if how modern they want to go. They got a great partnership with Raw Thrills, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can give them some feedback if you want to see more modern games. Partnership with Raw Thrills, tell them, but I don't think that's something coming. Yes, there will be a shooter next year. I don't know yet, but I have given I've given them my recommendation that I think the shooters going forward should in fact be XL cabs. I think that will solve a lot of problems because if they have to charge more for the shooters, people see more value in the XL. Plus, you get that 19-inch screen. It just seems like a win-win. Rocky, did you read my super chat? I read the 9.99 one. I think you dropped another one there. Michael B, do you think Demolition will appear on an Arcade1Up cab in 2024? No, not right now. I don't think WrestleFest is in the immediate future. And if WrestleFest was in the immediate future, I don't think you're going to get Demolition Man. Not Arcade1Up, WWF have gone out of their way to exclude Demolition from everything since the concussion lawsuit. So I don't think they'll be in the game, unfortunately. Are we getting a Smash TV arcade? That's been the rumor. Here we go. Canada Phil, was the rumored 80s release just Galaga Deluxe or is more news coming? What I can tell you about that is, from what I understand, the 80s cab isn't happening this year. That was in the works, but it's been pushed maybe to next year. Dracula, the fact that you don't have a contract with Arcade1Up makes you someone to trust. Now, I do have an NDA with Arcade1Up. Let's be clear about that. For the beta tester program, and anybody watching here that knows about the beta tester program or are in the beta tester program, know there was a boilerplate NDA for every single person who went into the beta tester program that they signed related to the beta tester program. So that's what I do have. Since 2 weeks ago, or a little more now, when I started talking with Arcade1Up, there's no contract, there's no NDA, nothing related to helping them with their shows. Okay, here we go. Do you see Arcade1Up put their next one-up shows in 11 months? Do they have anyone monitoring their social? You gotta be kidding me. No, the next one-up show is on Friday, tomorrow. And it looks like they're going to be talking about Atari 50th. All right. Great question. Where the F is Robotron? I've been asking that for years, guys. Years. Here's the friggin' thing, man. Nostalgia is so friggin' weird. So he's the kind of person that you never really know, and he does that intentionally. He's just weird like that. So the whole time last year in Chicago, he was trying to get time off so he could come, but he didn't want to tell anybody. He just wanted to show up and surprise people. So will Nostalgia be in Cleveland? He's gave us a hard no answer that he won't be coming. But you never know. You don't know with that guy. He could just show up and be like, surprise, I'm sleeping in your bed. Anything new from Buy Stuff Arcade for 2024? Yeah, they're always making new stuff. I think they're working on something with their pedestal stand and the retro shooters right now. I don't know anything other than that. I don't talk to Buy Stuff Store as much as I used to. So, yeah. I'm not going to answer that question, console fanboy. So Paul Minderman asks, can we say it's a surprise at PAX if they're saying it's Atari 50th, or is there more that they're hinting? There's more. Ooh, that's a good one. What would be your last meal? It didn't come up, but what would be my last meal? That's really tough. As much as I'd like to just say food, like depends on who it's with. Because like I'm a big guy. I like to eat, but like I like to eat with certain people and stuff too. And depending on the company I'm with, It's a little bit different. So it might surprise you, but if I had one last meal, I would want it to be with my wife. And there's a Chinese place here, a Chinese food place that is actually on the verge of going out of business. They're trying to sell the building and close, but thank God they haven't yet. Selfishly, I want that to them to stay open, even though they want to retire. And it's called Lucky's, and their Chinese food is just amazing. So my last meal would probably be Lucky's with my wife. That's what I'd want. All right, trying to catch up, guys. This guy says the same thing every time he comes in here. How do you talk so much about so little news? Everything about writing terms of service agreements. He also writes that on my videos too. Thank you for the comment. Console fanboy says, I will buy you a pinball tonight. Your choice, XL next year or no. No, I'm not going to answer you. It's not about getting a pinball machine. I didn't know about this. So TechBuzz says there's a reskin Star Wars pinball for Costco. Is that being announced tomorrow? So back at Comic Con, they were plugging Star Wars pinball. Was it there or is this unannounced yet, TechBuzz? So New Wave Toys, what's the announcement going to be? We got to figure out that shipping to Canada. I don't know. According to TechBuzz and the Rexer Show reported on this as well. Apparently, they're saying that New Wave is bringing out 3/4 scale cabs. Like I talked to Tom from the Cleveland Gaming Expo, and like he doesn't know. I'm trying to limit expectations because I don't want people to show up and be like, "Where's the XL? Where's the 3/4 scale cabs from New Wave?" If that's not what it is, I don't know. So I mean, there's rumors out there. Believe what you want to believe. I don't know for sure. I just know what people have told me. Yeah, we got a Facebook group started and we're talking to people. JR, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but if you are, go check out the Facebook page. All right, guys. Sorry, just looking for company questions here. AZ Arcade says, any legacy cabinets from new publishers? Tato, Data East, Konami, Irem. I didn't see any. I don't know if that's in the plan for next year because they're not really doing legacy cabs anymore. So I'm a little confused about this too. So what they started doing this year was Deluxe, which looked to be replacing the legacy model. Then they started doing this thing called the Vault. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know which is which anymore. Should I do my own AMA after this to share what really happens with Mike B behind closed doors? Big Spoon, Little Secrets? That's not a bad title. I don't know. I will answer you this. The Pro Cab is awesome, but I have to agree. I don't know if it's worth that $1,000 US price point. I think they'd be better off fixate staying with the XL size level. I don't know if because in order to do the Pro right, they're going to have to put more money into it and charge more, and I don't know if that's something I want. This is a good comment. I'd have to go back and look. I think there was some new companies, faces you haven't seen before. So there you go. Appreciate it, Mike Hawkhurts. Robert Wisner, still Star Wars. To my opinion, it's the best one they made so far. The only one that could beat it was probably the new Star Wars they just released because they made it better. Made it better in terms of aesthetics. I mean, with the coin doors and everything, I think it looks a lot better. This was again. I am really behind with the questions, guys. I am so sorry. Is there lag, or are you avoiding my $9.99 super chat? There was lag getting to you. Since I got no answer, I assume Qbert is on the list. No, Qbert isn't on the list, guys. I'm sorry. Do you think Arcade1Up has any regrets about overpricing Time Crisis? I predict the price will drop before Christmas due to poor sales. Do you think I'm right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. As of right now, again, like I mentioned, they made very small amounts. There's only 200 coming to Canada, 70 going to the brick. It all depends on how it's sold. So I don't know. I don't know your answer. I would advise you that if you don't like the price, hold off and wait and see what happens. You never know. You might not get a price you like right away, but maybe eventually this allotment sells out, eventually come to another distributor and be cheaper. Who knows? But right now, it's a Shop Hippo exclusive in the US, and it is what it is. Now that you have Arcade1Up money, will you turn off midstream ads? Never, never. Is Arcade1Up looking at releasing more than one driving or shooting machine per year? They did this year. They released Time Crisis and Big Buck. I always thought that they would stick to doing one per year. But I mean, if they sell well, people are happy with them. It's possible they could do more, but it all depends on selling. Like the thing about the shooting cab is, like, the price point sucks. So if it sells well, they'll do more. But like like it says, they say it's really expensive to make these. So you know, uh, it depends on how they do. I don't know. I think they should do them XL, like I said. Making Circle says, on your opinion, what's the Arcade1Up form factor that is easiest to assemble? I'm assembling my first deluxe cab while I watch this Class 81. Congratulations. The first form factor was the easiest to assemble. Like, it was simple. The more that the form factors have changed, they've gotten complicated, especially with the cabs now, where you used to be able to take your what do you call it, the front panel, the kick plate, and just drop it down the middle and it slid in. So now you actually have to hold it up while you press the other side down, and that gets a lot more complicated. So the earlier ones were easier to build, but the newer ones just look a lot better. Paul, that's a good point. I don't know. None of us know. Like, none of us know the shop terms of how much any of this costs. I don't know. From what I've been told by Arcade1Up, like, I mean, the shooting cabs are more expensive to make. I don't know. So it's possible they could look at this, and it could be like T2, where T2 didn't do well. But with marketing and pricing and stuff, it's always hard because, like, T2, they got a lot of feedback that one game was the problem. So when they put it on sale, they might have took that feedback. Oh, people don't want cabs with one game, and said, we think price is fine, but people don't want cabs with one game. So it depends on how they interpret the sales data compared to the feedback they receive from the community. Why are you wearing a t-shirt? I don't know, Stringer Films. I don't think anybody wants to see me without one. Thank you very much for the super chat. Uh, any Taito, Diddy's, Konami, Irem, Sega cabinets coming soon? I'd really have to look again. I mean, with Taito, I can say for sure, Taito, I don't think work with Arcade1Up right now. They did the Space Invaders cab earlier on, but Taito have been working with, they did stuff with iArcade, they do stuff with At Games. So I don't know if they have a relationship with Taito anymore. Data East is G Mode. They'll sell their license to anybody, so it'd be easy for Arcade1Up to get that. They had Konami. I don't know if they have Irem. They had Sega, so there you go. Will they make WrestleFest? The better question is, do you want them to make WrestleFest? Because it won't be arcade accurate. It's going to have to change because there's certain wrestlers that just aren't under Legends contracts that WWF don't want in the game. So, yeah, I will tell you right now, they could possibly make it. It'd be a very expensive title, and for them to bring in terms of licensing deals. And when they turn it around, you're not going to get all the wrestlers that were in the original arcade game. So, should they make it? Oh, that's so nice of you, Stringer Films. We watch because we like you. Forget corporate noise. God bless you, Stringer. Thank you for the super chat. Midlife Arcade says, here's a question. Am I the only person who wants a deluxe re-release of Simpsons? Hmm. No, I know that a tool in our Canadian Facebook group chat that we had the other day, he wants a deluxe re-release. I don't know how well it's sold, so I would have to look on that. I think honestly, though, some feedback for Arcade One Up that you guys could all give is: do you guys want four-player cabs anymore? I think they want to be as arcade authentic as possible. That's their mindset on doing the four-player deck. But realistically, most of the community has been very outspoken about this. They want two-player cabs because the four-player cabs just take up so much room, and especially with the online, like very few people are actually going to be able to, sit around a cab like that and play four players if you're not kids. So it doesn't really serve the purpose that you think it would. So it would be nice if they could possibly do Opsy 66, swap out LOD for Heart Foundation. WrestleFest would still be 100% die on day one if sold to Canada, of course. We do like Bret Hart. I think there's room for them doing two-player, previously four-player cabs. Golden Axe would be another great example. It's only the original game that actually uses four-player, and if you can add online to it and still accommodate the four-player through online, I think that'll work well. MG, Nightmare Before Christmas, a Christmas or a Halloween movie. It can be either. I don't think I'll pick up the 4K remaster. We got Disney Plus. We can just watch it on that. My daughter loves Nightmare Before Christmas. All right. Galaga Guy, Super Chat, 4.99. Thank you very much, brother. If you had to choose one arcade to play for the rest of your life, what would you choose? I didn't need to do a Super Chat, hoping for a pinball video. No, not tonight. Tonight's a serious stream. We're trying to get through all these questions. If you had to choose one arcade to play for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Probably Robotron right now. That's the one I had the most fun with. That's the one that has more replayability for me. No, man. I didn't see any pinballs. I don't know if Arcade1Up are going to do pinballs, and this is common knowledge. On the very first Arcade1 update, David McIntosh talked about this, and he said they're not happy with the price point they have to sell pinballs at. They think the price point is too expensive to sell pinballs. They want it down around that $500 range. So in order for them to do more pinballs, they would have to take out some of the features that the cabs currently have, like maybe remove the DMD. So realistically, the problem with those pinball tables was they needed more processing power so they could get the game at a better rate. And they kind of needed a bigger screen. So the tables actually needed improvements for them to be good. I mean, the build and the play mechanics in terms of like the feel and everything was great. But the actual table itself, like with the weird DMD and like just the fact that the games had to play it in 720p, you actually have to make improvements for those pinball tables to be really, really good. But they think they can only do them again if they make them cheaper. So I don't know if there's a future for Arcade1Up pinball. We'll have to wait and see. I've answered this question, but I'll just kind of briefly go over it again. Do you think we'll see any more pro cabinets? Honestly, I hope not. I don't know if Arcade1Up can make the necessary improvements to do the pro cabinets and then put them out at a cheaper price point. See, At Games didn't announce Ice Cold Beer last year. It was leaked. It was leaked. All right, trying to get down to him now. Michael B, do you know if the Miss Pac Man XL will have fast mode? I do not know. I don't know if there's a Miss Pac Man XL. That's a bad deal, Vasel. All right, James Gunn, who says $2 super chat. Cyrus sucks. I will tell you this. I've been very clear about this. Cyrus, the human being, like when you have a straight conversation with him, is the same person you see on screen. There's no acting there. That's just him. That's Cyrus. So, sorry, guys, there's some delay in getting these questions up. Chris Burns says, given New Wave's reputation, why do we think a three-quarter cab is their future versus their version of an XL, given how three-quarter has been done to death? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm waiting, and I'm cautiously optimistic about Cleveland to see what New Wave Toys does. Because if New Wave Toys can do a three-quarter scale cab, even though we all want to see an XL cab, if they can do a really good three-quarter scale cab with the attention to detail they put into their 1/6 scale arcades, that's going to be badass, man. Badass. Jason says, "Where is the new '80s cab? Did Arcade1Up lose the Sega license?" I don't know about Arcade1Up losing the Sega license. I don't think so. And where are the new '80s cabs? I think you're gonna like next year. MG asked this question. I'm sorry if this is already asked. Michael B, do you think we'll see Stern Stranger Things? Do you think the higher prices with pinball are here to stay? Yeah, guys, you want to talk about higher prices? Jesus Christ. Pinball's gone nuts. So I was watching Tokens Tavern Sunday night to get ready for my stream. And one of the things they talked back there were how cheap pinball prices were back in 2020. And if you want to talk about an astronomical increase, pinball prices have gone through the roof. I hope they go down. Oh man, that would be the worst, Jago. Worst Jago. That would be the worst Jago. The new wave announcement at CGC is going to be six scale BMX bikes available for pre-order. Everybody go in there expecting three-quarter scale cabs would be like, Question: should I buy the KI Pro for 500 if it's available near me? Listen, price and value, like your return on investment, is all subjective. But me, if I could have got this for $500 US, I would have been very happy with my purchase. Hope that answers your question. I think the Killer Instinct Pro Cab is incredible. Obviously, there's some issues with the specific Sanwa controllers they use. Is it Sanwa or I can't remember? Hap? Anyways, the controllers are a lot more sensitive than what people like, so they've been putting in the Lorenzen ILs, but like at $500, and I would have been very happy with my purchase. I know, and Escape from Popo too. What the hell? Michael B, I have sources telling me no Miss Pac Man XL is coming. Is it true? I don't know. I can't tell you. What's better, Tate or Taint mode? I've always preferred Taint. Boo-doo-doo. That's an interesting question here. Saphius has a really good question here. Will we ever see the Sega Star Wars trilogy? And I think Arcade1Up would really like to make it, but again, they're gun shy about that whole thing with the one game cab release. So, like, I'm not going to say get loud, but I think they need to feel confident that they can sell a Sega Star Wars trilogy with one game and they'd be able to make their money back because, of course, you've got Sega, which is a publisher that's expensive, Star Wars, which is an expensive license, but they have already got that worked out with Disney. And then, you got the production of the cabs, and will it sell? You can tell me in the comments, guys, do you think that a one game Sega Star Wars trilogy will sell from Arcade1Up? And this is possible too, Rocky. I don't know. It's possible. Yes, I know, Pitbull. You've got Robotron at your house. MG. Well, Star Wars trilogy is 3 games, kind of in the title. If that's true, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, from what I understand, I'm gonna be on tomorrow's show. So when we came into this, the concept was that I would be doing the Arcade One Update show, but I've just been doing whatever they've asked me so far. I'm pretty easygoing. You can ask the people at Hack Games. They write me up and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do the contest announcement winner show?" And I'm like, "Sure." I don't really say no much. I did say no recently. Someone wrote me and wanted me to advertise their product, and they said, how much do you charge for like a 40 to 60 second ad integration, and how much for a full video?" So usually I used to say, "What's your budget?" And I would try to work with them, but like I don't really like doing those ads. Like it's not something that I love doing. I love mid-roll ads, but I don't like doing those ad integrations. So I talked to Cool Toy about this a long time ago. He gave me some advice, so I kind of stuck with his advice. And so whenever anybody writes me now and asks me for that, I say 250 for one ad integration, and for a full video, it's $1,000. That's what I'll charge, because that way, if they pay me enough, I'll do it, and if not, well, I don't have to do it. So this guy wrote me back and goes, "Oh, that's so much more than we pay. Will you do multiple videos for 250?" I was just like, "No, I'm not doing that." So yeah. Anyways, I don't know how I got into that. There you go. It depends. In Canada, there's only 200. If they don't sell through that 200 and they're looking for shelf space, maybe towards the holidays, we could get some kind of sale. I don't know what Shop Hippo's deal is. I'm not in the US, so I don't ever go on the Shop Hippo website. So you can tell me if Shop Hippo ever puts their stuff on sale. That's the only thing I can tell you. What is PAX known for? What would be the cab to fit? I have no idea. Well, Arcade One Up are actually going there in the Atari booth. So Atari has a booth at PAX. That's what Arcade One Up's doing there. Rob Krasinski asks, "What about more Sega cabs? House of the Dead 1 and 2 with Virtual Cop 1 and 2, Virtual Fighter 1 and 2, Daytona USA, etc. Model 2 arcade games were cutting edge in the early late 90s when they came out." I completely agree. Um, you know, I have said since day one, every time they release a racing game, the first thing people asks is, "Where is Daytona USA?" But what I know is, Sega Model 2 is a little bit harder to emulate. And I don't know if there's commercial. I know that there's like home use emulators right now that people can use, but I don't know if there's commercial emulators available that Arcade One Up can buy to run Model 2 and then on a program that would work. But I really think they should do more. I think there's great opportunities. So hopefully it comes out in the very near future. If they release a Daytona USA cab, I would have a hard time saying no to that. But I'd want a Daytona USA sit down, and I don't know if they'll ever do some kind of really good sit down. What are you so scared of giant hot dogs? At least when the small hot dogs are trampling me, it'll feel like I'm getting like 100 tiny hugs. Duh, he doesn't work for New Wave, just Arcade One Up and Act Games. Stupid Fat Hobbit says, any chance you can track how many new cabs are coming in 2024? You're not allowed to field those questions. So it's not that I'm not allowed. I was given something in confidence, so obviously I'm not going to breach my confidence with who gave it to me. There was a lot of new cabs next year, so that's all I'll say. There's some stuff to be excited about. Get out of town. Did you see that Glenn's Thundersticks now had made a deal with SNK? Good for them, man. That's awesome. You know what? They made a prototype a couple years ago, which we saw like when we had that backstage leak into the Arcade One Up store. And what ended up happening was apparently it never got picked up. So they had a prototype, they were showing it off to retailers, and it just never got picked up, which is a bummer, man. It sucks. That Double Dragon 2 artwork was really cool. $5 super chat from Carlos Sanchez. Here you go, Mike. $5 towards your new pinball machine. Thank you very much, Carlos. I appreciate the super chat, brother. Are you not allowed to talk about Atari 50 and are on the One Up show? I am on the One Up show tomorrow, unless things change. I can talk about Atari 50. What do you want to know? I mean, all the information's out there. Will Arcade One Up still be around in 2 years? I don't know if I'm going to still be around in 2 years. Who knows, man? Michael B., if you had 10 seconds to decide which cabinet behind you had to go, never to be seen again, which would you choose? You now only have 5 seconds. Probably Golden Tee. Like up here in this room, like my Legends pinball is probably going to go downstairs next to my real pinball machines. And I'll probably put another XL cabinet back there. But after that, I mean, this is really all the room I have for the XL cabinets. This is where I want them to be now. This is what I decided. So I've got room for one more. That's it. So then if something new comes out that I'm really excited about, Golden Tee would probably be the next to go. I like Golden Tee a lot, but I like other stuff a lot too. Mike, did you grow up in Newfoundland? Is you or your wife's family from there? Did you move to the Rock for some reason? It seems too far from everything. I was born here. My wife's family was born here. Both our families are still alive. My wife actually works at her father's law firm. So, yeah, we're not going anywhere, brother. Rocky, what a huge super chat. What do you think of One Up transparency with you? They didn't tell you about the Time Crisis One Up price until 5 minutes before the show. Not telling you about the Atari 50 in Galaga Gamescom. Good start. Thank you very much for the huge super chat. You didn't have to do that. So, Rocky, I don't want to go down too low because I'll miss a couple others, but I'll bring up your super chat later. But I'll answer this now. The Gamescom thing, we knew Time Crisis was going to be at Gamescom. We didn't know about the other thing, so that kind of caught me off guard, and I ended up doing a live stream about it. So that was a little disappointing, but I think, like, in their opinion, they didn't want to overload us with too much. They just wanted to do the Time Crisis announcement and get that out there, and then I don't know. I don't know the answer there, but it was a little disappointing that we're going into this new community thing, and then all of a sudden these things come out and there's no answer about it. So that was a little weird, but we're going to see how these things go for the next little while, and we're going to see if things are good. We'll see. Ezekiel, my brother, the Chicago Retro Ranger, says, "What's up, Mike B? I'm getting out of the arcade one-up scene, slowly getting to real arcades." Man, a lot of people were doing that, and that's one of the cool things about, like, this specific home arcade hobby, is that as much as you might be a lover, hater of Arcade One Up or whatever, the important thing is a lot of people learn about arcade culture and learn about real arcade stuff, are taking that experience they're getting from Arcade One Up and going out visiting barcades, visiting arcade bars, visiting arcades, playing more games and getting into the hobby. So yeah, kudos to you, brother. Real arcades are awesome, and I hope that you enjoy it. Just be careful. Don't buy Tron as your first one. It's a little hard to keep running. Thank you very much, Ezekiel. You're awesome, man. Oh, gotta go chicken wings. Chicken fingers. No, no, sir. No. So Booga Sauce always asks me about this, especially on my videos. We don't even know. Like, it's cents on the dollar. You hope that it adds up. It's like, what is it? Superman 3 cents on the dollar. So I don't know, man. I put the commercials in there and hope it helps to spread my channel and with the algorithm. But yeah, we're trying to make money here. Like, let's call a spade a spade. YouTubers also want to make money. Like, we're not doing this just for the sake of doing it. Like, I love coming on here and hanging out with you guys. I love making videos, but yeah, we also like to get a little bit of extra money that we can go spend, put back into the channel, and then sometimes buy foolishness with. Arcade Star Wars fan, my super chat keeps failing. I don't know why. I'm sorry, man. Just going down, making sure I got all the questions, guys. 19K Fox, here he is. Will Sonic Fighters ever get released? No idea. I shit on that cab so hard, that Sonic the Hedgehog cab, so hard. I was not sad when I found out it wasn't coming out. All right, so Peter, funny how pinball at 500 is too expensive, but a 17-inch deluxe cab at 750, boss. Yeah, that's a good point too. I think the only way, like, to answer everybody's questions, like, again, if you think the price point is too high, don't buy. I mean, that's the message to send them. But I don't know what the result of that is. Do they come back and say, hey guys, we understand the sales data and we think we're pricing these too high. We're going to figure out a way to make them cheaper. Or do they say, well, we can't make these in machines anymore. Maybe we should stop doing shooters. Like, there's so many different ways they can interpret that information. But personally, if you guys don't like the price, obviously don't buy, and hope that it comes on a sale and you can get it at a price you're comfortable with. There we go. Kevin Clausen, $5 super chat. Tonight is a serious stream, but what is even more serious is a $5 super chat from Kevin. Pac Man XL's arrive, so now we don't have to rebuy it anymore. Yeah, it's going to be hard to top that, man. Like, Arcade1Up is going to keep doing re-releases of the same game, so maybe next year they do a wood grain Pac Man XL. I agree with Jason XL here. XL is pretty much pro. I'm really excited for Pac Man XL. I think that's going to be a great cab. I'm really excited about it. MG says Time Crisis Pro will be $1,500. Hopefully it's not that much. Like, I would have to think that they could keep it in the same ballpark for an XL. $1.99 super chat from Ben Perkins. 2-player cabs all the way. Running out of space. Yeah, I think a lot of people saying that. So yeah, so Basil question: is John D buying Anheuser-Busch? I don't think so. Oh, I had a lot of fun with that there a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago is John D buying Anheuser-Busch, and we were making fun of John D buying iArcade, all kinds of other stuff. There were all kinds of crazy rumors out there. No. Ooh, look at that. Mike, Halloween Pinball came up in Calgary for 9,800. Good shape. Thanks, Gross Gaming. I'll have to take a look at that. How long have you been Canada's sexiest man? Also, how many XLs next year? You're trying to sweet talk me. All right, guys, trying to find questions. I'm sorry. I wish I could read all the comments, but there's so many here. Still have Sega license, you say. Jurassic Park confirmed. So how many Jurassic Park shooters were done by Sega? Because, like, I really like the first one. I played that on my At Games Legends Ultimate with the aim track light gun. I don't really like the aim track light gun. I don't like the sensor bar. I don't really like guns with the sensor bars. What I got to do is I've got a Sinden light gun I bought from my arcade, so I got to get Sinden and MAME set up on my computer, and I got to test it out with the Sinden gun. But even though I didn't like it on the ALU because I don't like the gun, the aim track, also the Sega games don't really run really good through emulation on the ALU. Still a really cool game. So I don't know if they made a Lost World shooter as well, if that was also Sega, but if they had more than one game, yeah, I think they should definitely do it. I think I'm actually getting caught up, guys. This is awesome. What's the extension on the Capcom relationship with Arcade1Up? Do you expect the refreshing titles they release, such as Magic Sword or Street Fighter 3? I will tell you, there was talk a couple of years back about them possibly doing some new Street Fighter games, not just the same ones that you guys had always got. So it would be really cool to see Third Strike, really cool to see the Alpha series. I think people have been wanting those. I know there's some fighter fatigue in the community because it seems like it's all fighters from Arcade1Up, but yeah. Nooner. How much for a video is how porn starts. So I'll tell you a funny story now. My wife was watching something on Instagram the other day about a daughter who took pictures of her mom's feet and sold them online and bought her a Mercedes. So my wife got me to take some pictures of her feet, and she goes, all right, figure out how to make this rich, how to make us rich through this. Will you have a booth in Cleveland for signing autographs? Actually, I found out this morning I might be sharing a booth with the godfather of retro gaming, Glenn Planamento. So apparently, I will have a booth. I didn't know that until Glenn told me this morning. I'm so weird about that autograph signing. Come up, say hi. If you want an autograph for some weird reason, obviously I'll give it to you. But you don't have to do that. Just come say hi, and maybe we can get a beer and play some arcade and pinball later on in the show. Any chance Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, or GameStop will sell Atari 50? I don't know. I don't know the details on that. I'm sure Cyrus will be able to provide you guys with some details tomorrow. New titles. Exciting year next year. Paul, I'm with you on this, goddammit. All I want is the XLs, and this is coming from someone who hated the idea originally. That's the thing. Once you get it, you're like, I love it. I don't know what it is. It's no different. It's still an Arcade1Up cab, but something about that extra girth and size just makes it feel, I don't know, better. Yes, Charlie Chuck, you can charge your phone in my booth if I have a charger there. Oh, yeah, that's Rocky's super chat from earlier. So I'll just show it on screen. Thanks again, Rocky. Hopefully, I answered your question well enough. Let's go down and see if we got any more here. Stop adding an R to Paul's last name. I will try, Kevin. I will try. Do I have your permission to put in a new short tonight? Absolutely. I don't care, man. That's the thing. Like, we're on the internet. People can use it whatever way they want. Something about the girth and size makes it feel better. That's what she said. All right, guys. Taking here, looking at questions. So JR, the last couple of releases from New Wave Toys, they've actually sent them out to me for review. So I don't know how to say this right, like, but because they've been sending me for review, I kind of hold off to see if they'll reach out to me. But if they don't, they have changed their shipping to Canada. It's more reasonable now, less expensive. Before, I would go to their website and try to order, and it was just as much for the shipping as it was the cabinet. So it was always a little prohibitive for me to buy them. But I really like them. After I got the last couple of cabinets for review, I actually went back and bought the 1942 cab, which I haven't had time to do a review on yet. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So I have added more on my own dollar. So if they don't send it to me, I'm probably going to go get the Berserk cab myself. Mason, I'm excited to see you too, brother. Where are you staying? And you're in that area anyways, aren't you? Oh, I've doxed Mason. Is there a new title sports cab coming next year? Accidentally touch your right nostril if yes. Nooner. Well, that's the weirdest question ever. Do you think Joe Biden can handle a sippy cup when he drinks his warm milk before story time at 7 p.m.? What? All right. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I don't know if Arcade1Up is still working with. There's all kinds of rumors about whether or not they still work with Incredible Technologies. I don't know. Yeah, and I saw that as well. I'm sorry if I popped there with excitement, but someone posted it. It's already up on the app as well. So, yeah, maybe it was originally supposed to be announced today. Who knows? But like I said, or yesterday, because Costco, some of the Costco's look to have put them out early, and it's up on the app. So there you go. That's right. You don't have to watch. If you don't like me, man, you're not obligated to be here. Oh God, don't do that, Mike Hockerts. Don't do that. Yeah, Vic Vicious. Awesome question. Is One Up planning on more XL moving forward? What's the difference between XL and Deluxe? Like 5, 6 inches? So, honestly, like the difference with height, sometimes there's no difference. I mean, they've made some tall Arcade1Up cabinets in the past. Like Time Crisis, if they made an XL, would probably be about the same height. The difference is honestly the girth. The cabinets are a little bit wider to accommodate that bigger screen, and they just feel a little bit different. So, like 5 or 6 inches, yes. But if you ask anybody, a couple inches makes a big difference. No, I didn't try out the Shredder's Revenge DLC yet. I'm going to be honest with you. I've streamed a lot this week, guys. That's because I have had no time to make videos or do any work. Like you have no idea the backlog I have. Like I still plan on doing like a look at that $135 Pac Man Party Cade I bought. I still want to do a pinball pickup video for my Dungeons and Dragons pinball. Jesus, man. Like I can't get to it. It's so much friggin' work. I'm at the end of the list. My God, you guys are awesome. For the record, I was told by Mike that if I didn't stop building my Pac XL and show up tonight, that he docks me. I didn't want to getting out that there's an R in Jason. Oops. Oh, Jason, you're the best. Thank you very much, Jason, for being an awesome moderator. Oh, here we go. Is there any version of Tekken on the Arcade1Up roadmap? I don't think I saw Tekken on the list that was sent to me, but it's definitely a title that I know people want. Like it's a popular fighting game title, modern fighting game title, and with the inclusion of the rock chip, I think it's more of a possibility than it's ever been before now. Wrestling questions, I love those. Michael, do you think Jade Cargill is done with AEW and will resurface in WWE? So everything with AEW is so depressing right now. I still love AEW so much, but all this backstage drama and foolishness really bothers me. One of the things that bothers me is they have three like premiere shows plus an ROH show, and somehow they still can't find time to put all these people on TV. So, like Jade Cargill was a very special character, but if you go back to an interview, I think it was Kevin Nash did, if your only gimmick in this business is that you're unbeaten, once you lose, that's it, you're done. So maybe Jade Cargill is just done. I think if she could go to WWE, it'd be smart if they could get her. And I hope that they see the potential in her that I see. At first, I thought Jade Cargill was the shits, the drizzling shits, but she got better every week. Showed she had passion. She wanted to be there. So really good on her. And I think she could be a huge star in either the WWE or AEW going forward. Would love to see some sort of bowling cab from 1UP. Well, there's bowling on the Golden Tee, which is actually really good. Simpsons bowling is good, but it's way too easy. Will there be an undercover cops cabinet? Now that's a niche cab. That's a tough one because I love undercover cops, but I mean, if they can't get retailers to buy Double Dragon, how many retailers are going to buy undercover cops, right? Apparently it's 11 months from now. Console Kit says, ask you anything. Why don't you ever talk about your anime fetish? So I don't really have an anime fetish per se. So I really like old 80s cartoons. Back in the DVD days, I used to collect them. Anything I can get my hands on. Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Mask, anything I could find. But I haven't rebought them on Blu-ray, and I have no intention to rebuy them on 4K because, like, just with the prevalence of streaming services now, like, I mean, if I can find them on those, I'm good. In terms of anime specifically, I actually don't watch any anime. The only anime I watch is I love the movie Akira. I've got that downstairs. I've actually bought the Blu-ray of Akira. And I love Dragon Ball Z and the Dragon Ball series. Like I've got all of Dragon Ball on DVD, all of Dragon Ball Z on DVD, all of Dragon Ball GT on DVD, and I watch those over and over again. See, this is the questions I'd like to see. Will nostalgia ever shave his back? Yeah. Track and field. Wow, track and field for 2024 Olympics. That's got a nice ring to it. Track and field was one of the rumored cabs a couple of years ago, and then it never came through. Again, I mean, if Arcade1Up is going to do track and field, they need to have good buttons in them, right? Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight. Thank you very much, Prince Malcolm. I actually had a list of shit I wanted to talk about. Never got to any of it, but I don't have any video on it, but this was announced today, and I'm actually really, really excited about this. I'm a huge GI Joe fan. So they announced a new game today called Wrath of Cobra, and a couple people sent me screenshots of it. So here's an image. Look at that. Look how goddamn cool that looks. Like, I don't know if GI Joe makes sense as a beat 'em up. I guess kind of like the Punisher, where you integrate guns. But man, this looks so cool. Look at this. I mean, you can play as Duke. You guys know I love that GI Joe Konami arcade game. That's kind of like the Space Harrier style, where it's a shooter, where you're on rail shooter, where you're running at the screen. But yeah, I'm very excited about this GI Joe Wrath of Cobra. So this is something I am really looking forward to. And then Cool Toy had a new Power Rangers video up there a couple nights ago. I watched his video, and it looks like that's not going to be a not going to be an official release. That's like a, I don't know what you call it's an unofficial community game, but that looked pretty cool too. Don't forget Go-Barts, the Kmart Transformers. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've said this. I've never looked at retro inspired games and thought that'd be a good fit for Arcade1Up. Like, I don't know if I've got the wrong opinion here, but I look at Arcade1Up as a company that does arcade recreations. So I don't really and maybe my mindset is wrong, but I don't really see the value in that. I thought there was a lot of value in iArcade doing it, and I think there's some value in possibly Act Games doing it, but I don't think Arcade1Up is the right place for it. I think some indie games and modern games on arcade cabinets play really well. I love the shit on the iArcade, but yeah, not on an Arcade1Up. I don't know if I would like that. Oh, man, I wish. There are some badass, cool looking Taito actual cabinets. Which company's doing Zookeeper? Is that that's Quarter Arcades is doing the Zookeeper? Oh man. All right, guys, I got to get out of here in a minute. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for being so awesome with me tonight. And I wanted to do this to just put it out there and let you guys ask me about this. Like, you guys know I'm a big fan of Arcade1Up, big fan of Act Games. I've been working with Act Games, doing different stuff with them for a couple of years. This opportunity came up, which seemed really cool with Arcade1Up, seemed very genuine. So I'm exploring it. And if you guys feel that you can't trust me anymore or something like that, feel free to tell me. I'm an open book. I've been pretty open and transparent about like the way my relationships work with companies. Anytime as anybody's asked me if I have an NDA or anything like that, pretty straightforward. So feel free to ask me. Are you waiting on TC Cab, Mike? No, I'm not. I'm not going to pick up Time Crisis. I don't have the nostalgia for it. It's not a necessity for me, and I'm also not in the same place I was. Like, I don't have the big arcade downstairs anymore, so I don't have the same kind of FOMO that I used to have. So like that's not one I'm on. And again, like the price is restrictive. It looks cool. And if it was like 5.99 Canadian, I might have a different tune. But yeah, I'm not picking it up right now currently. Thanks, Paul Minderman. I appreciate that, man. Really love the show, Michael B. Love the openness and willingness to take questions. Yeah, I thought that was the right call. Paul, like you yourself said, like you were worried about how I was going to be going forward. So I decided this was the best way to handle it. Throw this up and, walk into the fire and let people ask me questions. Hopefully that cleared some things up. What? Is everyone still suspended? What? Super chat from Kevin Clausen. I'm on the edge about trust. Where is this money going? Hopefully to pinball. Kevin, I've been pretty clear about that. Oh, thanks so much, Hopsy66. I appreciate that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I didn't intend for it to go this long, but you guys asked a lot of questions. Hopefully, I answered all of them. Sorry if I missed some. Everybody have a wonderful night. See you Friday on that One Up show. Thank you very much, Donovan Klingel. I appreciate that too, brother. All right, guys, I am out of here.